Hi everybody, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. My name is Corinne and you have found my Flosstube number 27. So excited for you all to be with me today. Today is Monday, July 1st, 2024, and so glad you took a little time out of your busy summer to be with me today. This is a channel about my creative projects, primarily cross stitch, sewing, quilting, and anything else that my hands are busy doing. So good to be with you. It's been about 3 weeks since my last video, and I have a lot to share with you. I have new starts, I have whips, I have plans for Jolly July, and I have an updated stitch along information. I have a tiny bit of investments and some stitchy kindness. So I'm gonna jump right in. We have been busy over here. Back stateside, I did go out of town. I'll kind of tell you all a little bit about my trip as I'm going through my projects, because my projects were directly affected by my travels, because I took quite a few projects with me and worked on almost all of them. I think I did not touch one of the, I believe I took 6 items with me, 6 or 7, but I took quite a few. And I only did not get to working on one of them. So that was pretty good. So I'll kind of talk a little bit about where we went, how we went, because again, it was, my stitching went right along with that. So I'm going to jump right in. I want to start with my new starts. And both of my new starts were started on Juneteenth. And they are both kind of related to that. So we went out of town. If you were with me in my last video, we went on our way to Turks and Caicos. So we were going to drive to Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area specifically, spend the night with my sister-in-law, and then her family and our family were headed to Turks. So on the way down from St. Louis, that is a 10-hour drive. And since it was Juneteenth, I had a couple of ideas of what I wanted to stitch on that day. So the first thing I stitched in the car was this Juneteenth Day by Shaded Stitchery. I am going to stitch this on 32 count Dusty Cottage by Stitch Me. And I got this from her Gumroad account, Mary's Gumroad account, Shaded Stitchery, and I am working on this on my tablet because it is a PDF, and so I put it in Pattern Keeper, and it worked really well in there. I don't have a problem stitching in the car, especially on something like this, where if I make a mistake, I can catch it pretty fast, and that was the case for a few of my projects. Now, I did discover a couple of my projects, I probably won't travel with them again. They did not work well in the car. But this one did, and I'm excited that I'm using a piece of fabric out of my stash, and I got a pretty good start. I think I did like 583 stitches. So again, this is a 32 count Dusty Cottage. And this is all 3371. There's a lot. I think you need 4 skeins of 3371 for this project. I'm not sure if there's a difference if you're doing it on 32 count or 28, but that is how far I got in the car. I would say I worked on this probably a good 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours on that, because it's a 10-hour drive from St. Louis to Dallas. But it went pretty well. I didn't have any problems. This stays open like this. Okay, so I was very pleased with this fabric choice. Once I got started on it, I was like, okay, that'll work. It's giving it an aged look. I would say this is about halfway across. Okay, so I got another have to go. So that was a good start. I'm very pleased with it. I have about 3 or 4 of Nuri's designs that I'm looking forward to completing. So this is my first one that I've ever done by her, and I'm very excited to finally get that going. So this Juneteenth day by Shaded Stitchery. She has a new Juneteenth design out that I do plan to get. And that was just kind of a last minute start. I've been wanting to do that one for a long time. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to be in the car. That'll be a good chance for me to get it going on it. My other one, I did not start it until we had arrived in Dallas. We got there probably around 5 o'clock because we would have been there sooner, but you know how traffic is. And we got there right about 4, so traffic was pretty bad. But I decided to pull out my African woman and baby chart. This is a hands needlecraft design, but I picked this up I think sometime last year. This has a ton of colors. Let me show you. I have this little Looney Tunes bag, but it has 39 colors, and I need to, of course, organize these. I'm gonna make me a floss pocket, a double-sided floss pocket panel for this project. I'm going to do a tutorial on that at the same time, which is why I don't have it done yet. But this is a cute little bag. I got myself a few of these, but this is just too much going on in this little bitty bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and get, make me a little floss pocket. So this is my start. And that is the top of the pan that she's carrying on top of her head. And there's the little chicken. But that was a pretty good start. I don't remember exactly how many stitches I got done on this, but I'm very pleased with the start. This is 28 count Amber Waves by Atomic Ranch. And this was when I was in that club through Stitch New England. I got that. I'm starting to revive my affection for 28 count. This one is 28 count, and one I'm getting ready to show you is 28 count, and I'm liking them. Yes, they do eat up more floss, but I'm really liking the way my stitches look and everything. So that is my start. This is a needle minder I made for myself, but I am doing a lot of stitching also in nerd hoops, and I'm starting to prefer those. I have quite a few Q-snaps, but the Nurge is starting to become my favorite. It fits really well in my stand, my lap stand, and so that's kind of become a preference for me right now. So that is my second start, my second Juneteenth start, which was African Woman and Baby. Before I get into my whips, I wanted to share with you just a little something I made to take on our trip. And I've been needing something small. I want to do one of those project boxes. The boxes that everybody's redesigning on the inside. I have one. I have not had a chance to dismantle it and really decide what I want to put in it. But I still needed something to take on the trip that I would know had everything in it I needed, even if my projects got separated from the bag, whatever. So I created just this little pouch, and this was a pattern I got online, through Fat Quarter Shop, but it was the single scoop pouch by Dana Made, and she did a tutorial on Fat Quarter Shop. I didn't need the tutorial, but you could download this pattern, and I always print out my patterns, and all my bag patterns I back them with some type of cardboard to make them more sturdy. So this is just a Kleenex box that I had that I used to back that, and just to make it stiff and easier to keep. But it's very simple. Just used a simple zipper. Let me show you what I keep in it. I kept needles, of course. I had some pins in case I needed to find my place. Since I was going to be doing a couple of new starts, I used the pins to mark where I wanted to start my stitching. For the African woman and baby, I did a center top start, so I still needed to come down 2 or 3 inches. And then for this Juneteenth day, I did a top left hand start, so I still needed to mark that. So I just brought a little few pins in case I needed to do that. I've got some empty bobbins. I was planning to bobbinate some DMC while I was gone. I had some, as you could see in that little pouch I showed you. I just threw in the whole skein. Well, I'm a bobbinator, so I brought these along in case I had time to bobbinate. Extra magnets to hold fabric, and of course my needles while I'm working. I brought this little sponge. Sometimes when I'm stitching and if I have kinks in my floss, I'll run my floss across this sponge when it's damp, and then that way that takes the kinks out. I really didn't have that problem, but I always have it. I like to have it nearby and ready to go. I especially use it when I'm working on my full coverage. I have one of these little eyebrow wands in case I needed to frog and get the little lint out. I have my DMC stickers in case I got around to bobbinating anything. And then I had like 2 or 3 pair of my fold up travel scissors. I have an orange pair and I have a purple pair. So I just put them both in there because inevitably one of them ended up in one of the project bags. And I brought, just in case I needed it, some beeswax. I don't use it a lot, but I didn't want to be without it in case I needed it. And I think that was it. So just the basic stuff. And that way, no matter what project I pulled out, I would have what I needed to get started on it or to work on it. So that's what's in my little travel pouch. And I've been making these just to kind of give as gifts, little extras that I send out sometimes as thank yous, things of that nature. So again, her information is in the middle. Dana made it, and that was. But if you go to Fat Quarter Shop, you can find that tutorial. And this is a free pattern. Very simple, very simple. All right. The next project I'm going to show you is one that I did not take on the trip, and that was my Lipton Ice Tea guy. I'll put in a picture of where I was, and this is where I am now. I've primarily been working on this, just trying to put a thread in every now and then. I'm finally past all that yellow. That yellow about took me out, y'all. It was a lot of yellow. So I got through that. So now I have a small patch of white that I need to do here, and then of course the letters. So the next time you see me, I'm hoping to have that white part done and then at least be up here in the letters. And then I just got a little bit of back stitch once those letters are in. There's some back stitching in here to define this area and to write out some words. So he's coming along. I'm just plugging along with him and just making sure he's not lingering into 2025. I want him done this year. So that is Lipton Ice Tea Guy. He was a January start, and 14 count Ada is what he's being done on out of my stash. The next one I did take on the trip, and I'm going to participate in the Strawberry Moon SAL with this one because I did start it around that time. But this is Strawberry Faire. It's strawberry season. We're winding up strawberry season, but I wanted to finally get this one under my belt. And I think the last time I was with you, I had finished the strawberry, and I added a little bit while we were out of town. This was the last thing I worked on. I worked on that last stretch on our way home from Louisiana. We had a long week. One thing I also discovered about this project, this one isn't really a good card project either. And I don't know why, because I thought, you know, bigger blocks of color than what I usually do. But I had to frog this. Like, I had this almost, the tail almost all the way done, and I was off in my stitching. So I just mostly did the bird. Did a little bit of this right here, but mostly just worked on the bird. So I'm gonna have to make a conscious effort to pick this up and keep going. Once you get that main motif in these October House designs, they go pretty quick. This is a 32 count orange Pico Lugana from Under the Sea Fabrics. So another fabric out of my stash that I used, and I'm very pleased with how that looks on there. It's reading pretty true, but I'm really enjoying it, even though I had that little hiccup while we were out of town. But it went really well, and I'm pleased with the outcome so far. Up next, another one that turned out not to be the best project for the car, In Praise of Pollinators. I worked on this also a little bit, coming back from Louisiana. We flew out from Turks on last Thursday, so the 20th. 19th in the car, 20th on the plane to Turks. 4-hour flight. Came back Sunday from Turks, which was I think the 23rd. Flew back to Dallas, Fort Worth, spent the night again, and then got up in the middle, very early in the morning. I think we left at 3 o'clock in the morning to head to NOLA to drop my daughter off for her summer class and to start her volleyball workouts. So that was 7 hours in the car. And then it was 10 hours from NOLA back to St. Louis. So that was another 17 hours in the car. And my husband, he drove it all. So that's why you see I had plenty of projects to work on. And this is another one I worked on the way home, and that is In Praise of Pollinators. I am participating in the stitch along that Lala D Stitches started. I believe it's Pollinators SAL. I'll put the hashtag down below. I did a top left hand start. I love this pattern, but again, it was not really conducive to stitching in the car. I feel like I made more mistakes than I would have if I wouldn't have been in the car. But I'm put this in my large Nerge. This is 32 count Lugana from Under the Sea Fabrics, Boreas. And it looks very purple today. But here's where I am. I finished the branch, and that's what took me out, y'all. The branch. I think I frogged this part of the branch a couple of times because those offset rows of stitches, maybe I just wasn't concentrating enough. And then I did these leaves up here, and I finished the bird's feet. So just that's all I got done in the car, but I made progress. I think there are some more leaves down here that I probably want to knock out, but I think I'm going to go straight across. I thought about coming down, but I think I want to go straight across because I think some motifs on that part are where I want to go. There are a lot of leaves that go next to the bird and then that bat, but I want to come down here to that bee, and I think it's a moth. For those, yeah, the bees and then the moth up underneath there. So I think I'm going to come across and down. Lala D Stitches, she had it sectioned off in the particular areas, but I decided to just kind of do my own thing. So if you want to, I don't think there's like a time frame for that stitch along, but it would be a nice one to participate if you're interested in working on anything from the Blue Flower. I really am starting to like a lot of their patterns. So that's that project, and I'm not gonna put them back in the bags, but I do try to lay them on top of the bag so I know where they go. Now, this next project is the one, y'all, this project had me in a chokehold for the last 3 weeks. I have not wanted to work on anything else. And this is the Bengal Tiger. I don't think I had picked this up the last time I saw you. So I will definitely put a picture in of where I was when I did my whip parade in January. And this is what it looks like when it's done. And I probably mentioned this. I posted a picture of this on my Instagram, but somebody gave me this, sent it to me in the mail when I used to work for a PR agency right out of college. And I used to, during my breaks, I would go on the cross stitch boards on the internet. And people would be like, oh, trading patterns and things like that. And this was something that somebody sent me. And her name was Dawn. And she sent this to me. And I don't know what I sent her in return. We swapped something. But I sent this to her. Or she sent this to me. And I've kept it all those years. I know that was 25 plus years. So I have this, and I blew it up because the type was really small on it. So I blew it up, and here's where I am. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun to work on, and I knew it would be. I started this project on New Year's Eve. I did it for my New Year's Eve 12 by 12 at the end of 2022. So a little over a year ago. Year and a half ago was when I started this. I did, as you can see, I did not do a whole lot in that first year, but the last 3 weeks, I'm almost done with his head. I think I had this part done. Just his nose and his mouth was done the last time I showed this. And so all of this up here is complete. So I just have this part down here, and I think it comes down pretty far. It comes down right about here. As you can see, the frog hit me last night, so I got a few threads I got to get out of there. I got off count somewhere over here, and so I had to rip all that out and restitch it. But I mean, great. This was my playing project. I worked on this 2 Kirks and back from Turks, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It went really, really well. And the thing about it, I like all these color changes. It does not bother me, because if I make a mistake, I find it very quickly. And that's why I knew over here last night, I was like, something not right. And I just had 1 stitch out of place. And you all, I'm working on that, but when I have 1 stitch out of place, I gotta fix it. Because I feel like later on I'm going to have to fudge it a little more, and then that turns into even more fudging, and then it's a mess. So rather than let it get that far, I need to fix my mistake right off the bat. So I'm so pleased with him. He's beautiful, or she's beautiful. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I guess I could say it's a girl. But I'm very pleased with it and looking forward to continuing. I think I'm going to stop and then pick it back up on my next trip. I'm also going to put in a picture of what the Bengal Tiger looks like finished. I did find a picture online of what it looks like finished. So as you can see, I'm almost done with his head, but I still have quite a bit of that greenery. I just got little hints of it so far, but I have a lot of that greenery that still needs to be done. So I've got quite a bit to do. I've got another trip on a plane coming up, so I definitely plan to take that one with me and work on it some more. It wasn't planned at first, but that's a summer finish for me. I'm gonna push and make sure I finish that this summer before I go back to work. Okay, so that was Bengal Tiger. My last whip, I think. Let me look. Yes, my last whip is a Christmas project, and that is fitting because I'm going to go right into my Jolly July plans after this project. So this is Theater by, let me see, what did I do it? Yep, here it is, Big City Christmas Theater. This is the second one that I've done. I only did one last year, and so this is my second one. I'm hoping to do more than that this year. I'm hoping to get pretty far on this. I'll insert where I was the last time, and here's where I am now. So I've got that second floor almost done. I finished this floor, and I need to finish this over here and finish the roof. There's a big bow right here at the top that connects the garland. So I'm going to incorporate that because I'm doing all 7 scenes on one piece of fabric. And this is 32 count. I think it's lamb's wool Lugana that I got at CNC in Kansas City. But it's coming along. It's a quick stitch. It's a fast stitch. I've been working on this. I worked on it a tiny bit while we were gone, but I primarily work on this. My son has tennis camp 3 days a week. So this is what I have been taking. It fits nicely actually in that small nerge that I have. I'm able to roll the fabric up and fit it underneath a grime guard with no problem. So this is what I have been working on. Really pleased with it. I'm ready to finish this up for Jolly July and move on to the next one. I don't remember what the next one is, but I think it's the toy store comes next. So if I finish theater, I will roll right into the toy store. So Big City Christmas. Those are my whips. Let's talk a little bit about Jolly July plans. I have quite a few things that I would like to work on, some of them Christmas related, some of them not Christmas related. So let me pull out the Christmas related things first, and then I'll talk about the things that aren't Christmas related and the starts that I have planned. Jolly July. I realized last year that a lot of the projects I worked on were Christmas related. So I had not really started anything new Christmas related this year. So I've got at least one start planned, but then I want to get some of these other things finished, and they are definitely in the ballpark of being able to be completed soon. So let me run through these really quick. You've seen them before, but I want to really put the pedal to the metal and get some of these done this month. The first one would be a new start. This is Little House Needleworks, the ice cream shop. This is the latest in the Hometown Holiday series. I love this series. This will be my third one. Yes, because I've done the needlework shop and the bookstore. So this will be number 3. So I'm gonna go ahead. I got all the flosses that I need for this. So that is what I'm going to work on. New start. The second one that I want to work on, it's a small, and I have one of those little pouches, and this is Joy by Luminous Fiber Arts. I don't know if you remember, but this one gave me a fit in the spring. I don't know why I can't just finish this, y'all. The bird, I had to finish the word joy, and then there's a bird over here. The bird gave me a fit. I had the bird done. It was not cute. It was a mess. It was all, I don't know, maybe because it's black. So there's no reason I should not be able to finish this. Let me see if I have the project. It's a freebie from Luminous Fiber Arts. So I'll just show it very briefly. That's it. So I've got these 2 parts. Just finish it, Corinne. So that one's on my list to definitely pick it up. And I think maybe what I'll just do when I pick it up, put a thread in and see how far I can get on that. The next one is the reindeer by Cottage Garden Samplings. I started this the day after Christmas. And I've got the face done. This is a 32 count linen, and the name of it is escaping me, but this is a linen that I plan to do the fox on as well. But it's coming together. It's okay. I'm using all I've called for. It's DMC with 1 fancy floss, and I'm enjoying it. But on linen, I always feel like my stitches aren't as neat. So I'm just gonna press through and see what happens with this one. But this is another one that I do, like Joy, I do need to work on it in the daytime. So I need to take advantage of my good summer light and make some progress on it. This next one, you've been seeing it for a while. I believe this was a 2022 New Year's Eve start as well. Chestnut by Teresa Winsler. I've run into a hiccup with this one. This is where I am. I think I have a mistake here somewhere and I still haven't found it. And like I just said, it's hard for me to move forward. So I think what I might do is just come down here and start on the rocking horse part. The rocking part, and maybe do backstitch. That might help me find the mistake. And then I can go back to that front leg and keep it going. But that is another one. I gotta put some good time in that. I would love for this to be finished by the end of the year. So again, that's Chestnut by Teresa Winsler. This next one is another one that I started at the end of last year. Or no, this was a start in either January or February. I don't remember. But this isn't too old. But this is Peppermint Christmas by Sue Hillis, the Hoop-de-Doo series. And this is being stitched on a, I think it's a 18 count pink Aida, light pink Aida. It's either 18 or 16 count. I'm not sure, but that's as far as I got. That bow at the top. Yeah, that bow almost took me out. I was changing colors every other stitch. And that's going to be the case for this whole entire project. But it's so cute and it's pink. So I gotta do it. So again, this one, once I get done with Joy, I'm spending some time on this one. So those are the whips that I have that I'm going to start or continue on with for Jolly July. The new start that I have, I think I showed this last time, but just in case I didn't, this is the Nutcracker Tree by Tiny Modernist, another favorite. And I'm going to do this on 32 count mint splash Lugana. I have a fat quarter, came from Coloring Cotton. I already added an extra piece of fabric at the top. You can see I have a pin where I'm going to start, and I'm just going to do a center start, but I'm going to start at the top. I'm not going to start in the actual center of the fabric, but hopefully you can see those splash marks on there. But very pretty color. And I've got all my threads pulled. It is DMC, and for now it'll probably go into a bigger bag, but this one will work for now. A candy cane bag. So Nutcracker Tree by the Tiny Modernist will definitely be a new start for Jolly July. So those are my Jolly July plans. Now I have 2 projects that I am still going to work on, and they're right here next to me. The first one is my Rose of Sharon. I think I showed this to you the last time, but I've made a change in my threads. I'm converting it to pink and greens, but I went, oh, sorry about that, y'all. I've been watching a lot of Flosstubes lately, and a lot of them have had a lot of people doing a lot of zipping, but this stuff is terrible. So I apologize. I don't want to be one of those people that's ripping your eardrums out, but I had some threads pulled and I've kept them, some DMCs, but I recently went to, and here's some of the palette, the greens, and I'm going to keep these 2 dark pinks, But those middle tone of pinks, I went to my local quilt shop. It's called Oh So Personal. If you are in the St. Louis area, it's located in O'Fallon, Missouri. And if you are in Collinsville, Illinois, they also have a location in Collinsville. But they carry some Cosmo threads. And on a humbug, I just kind of went through the drawers that they had, and they had 3 pinks that were very close in range that I liked. So I got a skein of each. And they did have some more, so if I need to, I can go back, but 112, 113, and 114. They were perfect. They were exactly what I wanted. I was making do with what I could find that would work in DMC, but this, I really like this combo. I think the ombre, the gradation of those colors, this is what I wanted. So I'm shifting gears and I'm moving towards using those 3 Cosmo colors. And what I did was I wrote down all of the colors that needed to be converted, the yellows to pinks. So I wrote down what I used, blues to greens. I wrote down what I used. The hair, I have not finalized that yet, but I know 310 and 3371 will definitely be prominent, but I have 2 other colors that I need to switch. And then down here, I have the skin colors that need to be converted. So I'm still working on it, but I have enough that I can definitely get started on that. And I want to get started on it this month because July is the time I will have the most time to devote to it. Because once August starts, we're back to school stuff. So I want to get as much of that done as I possibly can. And the last one I'm going to talk about is our Phoenix Sampler Stitch Along by Twin Peak Primitives. Shout out to Twin Peak Primitives. She mentioned me on Instagram, and I guess a lot of you are planning to start this with us because she saw a big influx in orders on this chart, and she said she was wondering what is going on. And then I guess she found out that we were going to do a stitch along with it. So this stitch along, I've come up with a hashtag. Stitch and Jim and I are going to collaborate on this one. And if you have not watched our channel, go check her out ASAP. She's wonderful. She's sweet. She just did a StitchCon update. I have enjoyed watching a lot of you all's StitchCon updates. I hope I can get there one day. But she and I are going to collaborate on this SAL, and the hashtag, I will put it down here at the bottom, is hashtag Phoenix Sampler TPP for Twin Peak Primitives. So Phoenix Sampler TPPsal, SAL. That's the hashtag. So please tag it. If you're going to join us, let me know down below in the comments that you are going to join us. And I look forward to seeing what you come up with for this stitch along. I am doing mine, at least the plan is right now, 25 count vintage cloth 1/1 shadow. I am going to attempt to do this 1/1. I like 1/1. I just have never done 1/1 with spaces in between it. So I am probably going to grid this fabric just because that makes it easier for me to work on. So today's July 1st. That is our start date. So I am going to break this out. This will be my project for the evening. I will probably start gridding it. And I'm probably going to do a top left start like I always do. It's got a border on it. So I'll definitely, start on that border. But I promise you I'm not going to complete the border. I'm going to hurry up and get in this middle part. Okay. So I've serged my fabric. I think I've already added like an extra piece at the top to help me put it in a large nerge, but that is Phoenix Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. She is on Etsy, so you can get this in a PDF, which is what I've done. And now that I think about it, I think I need to put it on my pattern keeper. So I will do that tonight before I get started as well. But it's a beautiful sampler. I just love that vase of roses in the middle at the top and the two birds. That house, everything about it is just great. So I'm definitely looking forward to working on it. She has a couple others that are real big like this. This one measures 241 by 241, so it's large, but it's not the largest I've ever seen, but it's a good size. So now would be a good time. And I miss my big projects. I like big projects, you all, and I've been doing a lot of medium to small, so I'm ready to get back to some biggies. So that is our stitch along. Please, please, please join us, and I look forward to it. Before I move on, I do want to add one more thing about the stitch along. I got some stitchy kindness, and it is from Jim, and it's sitting right here, so I'm glad I didn't forget. She reached out to me and asked me for my address, and she said she was going to make us some project bags for our stitch along. So sweet. I got mine in the mail today, so girl, look good looking out. She got it to me on the day of, so I can immediately look at that, you all. She found some Phoenix fabric. Isn't that beautiful? And it's pink, which I love. And she said she followed my tutorial, so you did a great job, sis. And I really love this double zipper. I gotta get some more. I gotta get some of these. I don't have any of these, but these are nice. So I'm gonna find some charms to put on that zipper. But it's a beautiful bag. Let me show you the inside. Sorry, I'm zipping. Just a crane print on the inside. So great job, sis. Great job. I love it. And I'm looking forward to, matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in there right now. It fits nicely in there. All of my flosses, I'm doing the called for flosses on that. And that fits in there perfectly as well. So thank you so much, my sister. Again, go watch Jim, Stitchin' Jim. She lives in Oklahoma, and she is a very prolific stitcher as well. And I look forward to seeing our progress on this. There's no timeline on it, you all, but we just want you all to join us. Just have a good time. This is a biggie, so it's gonna take some time. So please, please, hit us on Instagram with that hashtag and let us know below if you're joining us for the stitch along. I just have a handful of investments to share with you and a few plans. And I do have the winners from the giveaway from the last video. So I will do that at the very, very end. But thank you all for all your kind comments, your encouragement about Layla's cotillion pictures, the dress that I made for the cotillion. I got my sojo back a little bit with that one. I am gonna probably next week do a video on my summer sewing projects. So it won't be a Flosstube, so if you want to know when it comes out, hit the notification button so you'll see it when it pops up. But I'm just going to talk about some of the quilting and the sewing and the bag making that I have planned for the rest of this summer. But we actually got our official pictures back from the cotillion, so it was sitting right here, so I thought I'd show you. But we haven't had a family portrait in a while, so glad we could get that one. We also took some pictures on the beach in Turk, so I'll probably put those up on my Instagram. I put them on my Facebook, but I haven't put them up on my Instagram. But yeah, I've kind of been looking at patterns and picking some fabrics out of my stash that I want to make into some things. So I got my stitchy bug back from that. But again, Layla's down in New Orleans. She's doing good. You know, she's handling her business. And actually, I had to go to 2 scholarship receptions for her this weekend because they were actually, handing out the scholarships that she had earned. And both of them were AKA scholarships. One was her Fashionetta scholarship, and the other one was for just a scholarship from the chapter. And on her Fashionetta scholarship. We knew they had announced scholarship winners at the banquet, but she ended up getting more. So that was right on time. I got that money, got it in her bank account, so we're gonna make sure that those checks get written and that bill comes down for the semester. She's actually on Tulane's campus, their medical school area. She's like blocks, literally a couple blocks from the Superdome, but she's got her own apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, full kitchen. Before we left, we took her to the store, got her groceries and everything. She said she's been cooking. She texted me yesterday and asked me for my chocolate chip cookie recipe. So I think she's gonna do some baking this week. So she's doing good. She's been keeping me informed of, business she has to take care of on campus. So we go back and get her at the end of, we're flying her home at the end of the month. But she's enjoying it so far. And I think she's just working out. The freshmen and the transfer students are there right now. She's got practice, she's got workouts, and she's got an elective class. So she's doing well. So thank you for all your kind comments and best wishes for her. Keep her in your prayers, honey. You know how these teenagers are. She just turned 18, so she's good. But thank you again. All right. Investments. I have just a few. I'm not going to take this one out of this noisy bag, but this was my June fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me, and this is Aquarius. I know you all have seen it on other Flosstubes, so I'm just going to show it real quick. I get the 32 count Lugana. I like it a lot. I have a few things that I might be able to do on that fabric. I placed an order before, actually June 1st, I placed an order with let me make sure I get his name right. Needlework Jim and Hand Dyes by Jim. He is on Etsy. I became familiar with him because he has a very large booth at Needlework Galleria every year. And so I was very familiar with him. He often has discounted patterns and things like that, and his fabrics are very well priced. So he recently got started with a Etsy shop, so I wanted to try and order some things through that, and I ordered 2 patterns and 2 pieces of fabric. So the first pattern was Christmas Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I'm looking forward to doing this. I think I'm gonna do a red Delicious by Color and Cotton. Is a really nice red. So I'm thinking about doing that, but then just do the tree in a green. And I think I have Good Cheer by Color and Cotton. So when I start on this, I'll confirm that, but I love this little pattern, and it'll be a nice short Christmas stitch. The other one is another Christmas pattern. I told you I love Christmas and I need to get going on it. This is Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. And I liked it because it has the, got a little glare, there we go. I liked it because it had the Christmas songs. So it's got Silver Bells, First Noel, O Christmas Tree, O Holy Night. And I like how they did those in a separate color. So I'm planning on doing the same. I would like to do a variegated floss with the rest, but, and that apple, the Red Delicious is a good color for this one too. So I got some decisions to make. So those were the 2 patterns I got. The 2 fabrics I got, 32 count Lugana in Sahara Dust, a nice neutral. I got a fat quarter. And then I also got a 32 count Vintage Rose. And this looks like a printed fabric because just one side has the modeling. So it's a printed Lugana, it's Weigert. So I got both of those. He's usually running a sale. But he's got great customer service. Let me show you his contact information right there at the bottom. And then I will say, full disclosure, I ordered this on the 1st of June and I received it sometime while we were out of town, so sometime after the 19th. So it took a little while for it to come, but I'm very pleased with the order. And that was my investments. I did want to share a project that I came across. This is, and just because it's bee season, this is Be Happy. This came from the Cross Stitcher magazine. I don't remember off the top of my head what issue it was. I'll put it at the bottom, but isn't that cute? And that's not even all of it. It got cut off, but I just printed a working copy. But this is Be Happy, but it's got some more words out here, and it's an Emma Condren pattern. I've never done any of her patterns before. I'm sorry, Emma Condren, hopefully I said that right. But it measures 180 high by 121 wide. But that's super cute. I'm gonna get that up. Just FYI, DMC is on sale at Joann's, 50 cents a skein until the 7th of July. And then I just got an email today that Heaven and Earth Designs is having their 4th of July sale. I think it's already started. I'm not sure when it ends because the email didn't say, but I would imagine it goes at least until the 4th. It may even be longer, but at least till the 4th. So if those of you looking for either one of those, both of them are having a sale currently. All right, giveaways. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined me on this Flosstube journey. I cannot thank you enough. There's a lot of content out there, and I'm so glad that my personality, my projects, something has resonated with you enough for you to click that subscribe button. I really truly appreciate it. I have a lot more in store. Like I said, I hope to have a couple of tutorials up before school starts, so be looking for those, and talk a little bit more about some of my sewing projects and get some more finishes for cross stitch under my belt. So I just want to thank you all. You have a lot of choices. Time is always short, so I appreciate you all spending your time with me, and I hope to always come before you prepared and ready to share what I have been doing. Hopefully my video today wasn't too disjointed. I had people coming in and out, and you know, you get distracted. But thank you, thank you, thank you. So I had 2 giveaways. I have 2 winners. The first person whose name I'm going to call is going to get this bee bag, the Bumblebee Color and Cotton Floss, and the kind words from Primrose Cottage. And the winner of that packet is Rhonda Wise 1897. So congratulations. How you can get this is just email me. I will put my email down below, and it is in the description box. Just email me at CoryCreates, I think 08 at Gmail, but I will put it down below, and just send me your email address, or I'm sorry, your mailing address, and I will get that out ASAP. And the second winner, the person who won the ornament project bag, is Sharon Notestein 1562. So thank you, Shannon. Please reach out to me at that email address as well, and I will stick both of those in the mail as soon as I hear back from you. So congratulations and thank you again. I think that is it for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for checking me out today. Thank you for coming back to join me. I'm looking forward to the next month when I plan to do a lot of stitching and a lot of sewing. So I should have a lot of things to share with you. I am still planning to go to Toronto in mid-July. So if you know of any good stitching or even quilting shops up that way, please let me know. Thank you to those of you that continue to support my Etsy shop. I have quite a few new bags in there. From time to time on Instagram, I'll kind of do a reel to kind of show you what's available. But if you want to check it out, Layla P Creations on Etsy is my shop name, and I've got quite a few summer bags up and ready to go. I will be adding sometime during the month Christmas bags, since it is Jolly July. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything. But like I said, I will be back in a couple of weeks. I'll try to come back on before I leave to go on my trip and give you an update, because like I said, these next couple of weeks I'm not as busy as I have been. I will, at the end of this video, just put in a few shots from our Turks and Caicos vacation. It was a good time. I told my husband before we left, I said, babe, I'm not snorkeling. I'm not going on no hikes. I'm not riding any horses. I'm not doing any of that. I just want to sit down and do nothing. And that's what I did. I did work on Strawberry Faire on the beach, so I'll make sure I stick a picture of that in there as well. And I got a couple of shots of my kids, so I'll stick those in there. And the hubs, I think maybe this, unless you follow me on Instagram, this is probably the first couple of times you've seen him. But we had fun. It was a quick trip, but it was for my daughter, a graduation gift to her from her auntie. So you'll see some pictures of my sister-in-law and her husband. I think I'll stick a couple of those in there as well. But we went down as a family and we had a good time. So enjoy July. Don't forget about the SAL, the Phoenix Sampler. Head on over to Twin Peak Primitives and pick up that very pretty pattern and join us. We'd love to have you. So have a great couple weeks. I'll see you soon. And as always, be blessed.